Womanhood's a winding road, with stories deep and hearts that glow. She's been the boss, she's been the flame. She's more than titles, more than names. So pull up a chair, come join the show. Let's talk the highs, the hurt, the glow. She's got the mic, and we've got the night. Let's live out loud, let's get it right.
Hello there, and welcome to another episode of The Talks Drop. I'm your host, Maggie McIntyre, and I'm so glad you're here for part one of our two-part episode with Jessica Wilkins. Jessica is a mother, a veteran, the owner of the Biscuit Batch in Spotsylvania, Virginia, and she was a finalist on Chopped and Cutthroat Kitchen. So let's drop in. Jessica, thank you so much for coming on our show. We are so happy to have you here. And besides trying out your newest menu item later on in the show, I'm just excited to talk about all things, just really about how you got here. So I'm going to cut to it and ask, you started baking on a Naval Destroyer Ship in the middle of Pearl Harbor. How in the hell did that happen?
It's
Tell us
something
the
that you
story.
wouldn't think would happen. But the engine rooms were 135 degrees.
And that's when you were working in the engine room. So,
Yes.
so take us back, I guess, to when you joined. You joined the Navy right out of high school?
No, a couple years after graduating high school.
Okay. And then the first place you went was Pearl Harbor, correct?
Pearl Harbor, yes.
All right. So you worked in the engine rooms. And what were you doing in the engine rooms?
I was a gas turbine mechanic. So
Okay.
I was a grease monkey at the bottom of the ship, covered in oil, coveralls, the whole nine.
Wow.
And when we were out at sea, we would go to the Arabian Seas, going to like Bahrain, Dubai, all those places. So it's hot out there.
Mm-hmm.
And our engine rooms had no air conditioning. So it was 135 degrees at its best day down in the engine room. And we have these like big air ducts where we get airflow down to the engine room, but it's just the hot air
Right.
from
Just
outside
recycling.
coming in. And we have like all the equipment running, which is hot. So it was just like hot everywhere. And the only people that really got breaks were smokers. And I counted. A cigarette took about 10 minutes. And people would smoke 2 cigarettes, which is a 20-minute break.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, well, that's not fair. I don't smoke cigarettes.
Right.
So I would, kind of wander around the ship, and I went into the CSs, the culinary specialist. And I was like, hey, you guys need some help in here? It's air conditioned.
Right. Smart. You're like, let me find some air I can breathe in on this ship.
Exactly. And nobody up there, it was mostly all guys. So none of them wanted to do the baking. They're like, yeah, go do this stuff. Go do the baking. And they had recipes for everything. And I would tweak stuff here and there. And people started saying how good the baked goods were on the ship, but nobody knew that it was me baking it. And it was just like instant gratification of it felt so good that people were loving my baked goods.
The Grease Monkeys biscuits.
Yeah, the Grease Monkeys
That's
biscuits.
if you extend, you may want to consider that for a business name.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Oh my gosh. So you got into that. And did you have formal baking experience before then? Did you do a lot of cooking growing up?
No, I had one thing that I loved baking, and it was like a lemon pound cake. And that was like if I'm in trouble at home, I made a lemon pound cake.
Perfect.
Or like if I borrowed something from the neighbors, I'll make you a lemon pound cake.
Right.
But it was that was pretty much my extent of baking and cooking.
Okay.
I hated it.
Yeah. So you just kind of developed a little bit of a natural flair, I guess, when given the opportunity.
Yeah.
All right. So word gets around that you're doing that. Did you get in trouble for that at all? Did your superiors find out you were doing it?
No, I didn't get in trouble. It was kind of short-lived.
Mm-hmm.
It was during one of our deployments. So I did it for like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
But then when I got back from the deployment, I started kind of practicing on my own and looking up recipes and baking. And I started giving people my baked goods to try and trying new frostings and things like that. So they were loving them. And people started to ask me for like baby showers and birthdays and stuff like that. So
it became kind of a side business then for you.
Pretty much, yeah.
Were you doing it on the weekends? Because you were still active duty at this time, correct?
Correct.
All right.
Yeah.
So it was like a weekend type thing that you would do? Or?
Weekends or just whenever we had time off. Sometimes when we would get back from sea, So it wasn't all like long deployments. Sometimes we had like shorter underways is what we called them.
Uh-huh.
And it could be anywhere from like a couple weeks to a month to a couple months, but it wasn't like a full deployment.
Sure.
So sometimes when we get back from those, we get like 3 or 4 days off of
Right.
work. So
Wow.
mm-hmm.
Well, take us back to the beginning because I want to know. I mean, you had a start kind of early on at testing the waters as an entrepreneur before then.
Yeah.
So take us back to California.
Mhm.
Where in California did you grow up again?
I was born in Cedars-Sinai in Beverly Hills,
Mhm.
California, and I was raised in Santa Clarita Valley,
Okay.
which is Los Angeles County, but in the valley.
And and that's why Valley Girl.
Valley
She's
girl.
Valley Girl. Both of your parents were LAPD.
Yes.
How did that shape you growing up? That's a rough life.
Yeah,
I mean, just
I would
yeah.
say definitely hard,
Mm-hmm.
strict, but I would say like cops as parents, kind of like preachers' daughters
Mm-hmm.
are cops' daughters.
Right.
Like mischievous, getting in trouble, pushing the limits. But my parents were great and not supportive of what I was doing, but
Right.
I was a troublemaker to say the
Yes.
least.
She was a troublemaker before she was baking biscuits.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, you really did a 180. I think we could talk
I
about
did,
that. Yeah.
yes.
So you're in high school, and you started. Well, you said you started in elementary school doing like little bracelets here and there
Mhm.
for friends, and then in high school you started. Was it the fashion that interested you or the art?
It was the fashion that interested me.
Okay.
I really loved fashion and just things that people were wearing and clothes. And I just kind of started randomly kind of sketching. And
Okay.
it was terrible.
Yeah.
And I practiced and I practiced. And I started sort of loving to design dresses and all the flowy things. And I used to watch Project Runway. I used to love that show. And what was the other one with Stacy and
Oh, Stacey, what not to wear?
What Not to Wear?
Yeah, with
yes.
Stacey and Clinton.
Yes,
And
I
now,
loved
have you
that
seen
show.
their new one? It's like
I
whatever.
haven't.
Okay, they have a new one. They Stacey and Clinton, for those of you that watch the show, because if you loved them, you love them.
Yeah.
They came back recently, and they had a series called "Wear Whatever the Hell You Want." I will tell you though, sometimes it's nice just to have a show that's like, please don't wear that. This
Yeah.
one's a little too like, oh, whatever we want, whatever makes you
soft.
happy. Yeah. And it's
kind
like,
of like the world today. It's soft.
yeah, it's kind of like, it kind of loses the fun of it because at the beginning, yes, they're harsh, but at the end they come back and they're the loving parent that's like, this is what you needed, right?
No, the fun part was them being cutthroat. And
Yes.
yeah.
So you totally lost that. So I don't even know if that series is still on. But right. But they're so great, and that initial series they had was fantastic. So
Yeah.
that launched your interest. And so how did you turn that into your first sort of money-making venture?
So I designed my prom dress,
Mhm.
and everybody loved my prom dress because, mind you, like, when you're going out to find a dress, like you have to go to the stores that nobody else is going to. So you don't have the same dress as somebody else because God forbid you have the same dress as somebody else.
Right.
So I was like, well, I'm going to design mine. And I designed it, and people were like, oh my gosh, where'd you get your dress? I love it. It's leopard.
Uh-huh.
It's got like lace and all these cute little details. And I'm like, I designed it.
Wow.
And they're like, what do you mean you designed it? I'm like, I created it, and I took it to someone and they made it for me.
That's crazy.
And
did you pick out the fabrics and everything and give it to that person, or did you give them a sketch and an idea and then they pulled everything?
So they picked out the fabric, but I had a say in it. They picked between like 10 different fabrics, and it was a layered fabric. So I had a couple different fabrics, and I can't tell you what the fabrics were today because, it's not part of my life anymore. But
Sure. That's so cool though. I mean, how unique.
Yeah.
So you did that and they loved it.
Yes. And then, proms are seniors and juniors. So a lot of the juniors, word got out that I had designed my own dress. I'm like, oh my gosh, you have to design my dress my senior year. So even a year later, they remembered and reached out to me and had me design their dress.
How
and
cool.
Of course, I charged them for it.
Yes. And then that launched after high school. Were you thinking about going to a fashion institute afterwards?
Yes, it was my diehard dream to go to FIDM, the
Mhm.
Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandise. When I told my mom, she gave me a big old hell no.
Yes.
She's like, that school is way too expensive and you hate school.
Well, was that the one in New York?
No, it's in downtown LA. I
Okay.
believe.
And
Yeah.
New York has, I guess it's FIT. I think it's the Fashion Institute of Technology.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So, so she said no to that.
Yeah.
So what happened after
Well,
that?
of course, I was heartbroken because
Yes.
that's like the only thing in life, right,
Yeah.
that I wanted.
Tunnel vision. Yeah.
Yeah. Going back to knowledge that I have now, I'm like, that was a very smart choice on her end.
Yes. Yeah.
To not send me there. But she told me to go to community college first to get my associate's degree. And
Mhm.
if she sees that I really want it still, then she'll pay for the school.
Very pragmatic.
Yes.
Yes.
So I hated school.
I was
Like,
about to say, and then you went to school.
It was not my strong point. I hated math. I just hated like being focused. I was diagnosed with ADD. So I think that had a lot to do with it.
Mhm.
And I'm very visual. I'm a visual learner. Hence
Yes.
why I'm a chef today. But so I went to school and I kind of fell out of love of fashion design.
Mhm.
And the college that I was going to had a program for interior design.
Okay.
So I could get a certificate in that. And I was like, oh, well, that's really cool. It's still kind of sketching and designing and really fun. So I stepped into interior design and I got my certificate. I worked at a furniture store to kind of get my clientele for interior design.
Sure.
Did not love it.
What was the part that you liked least about it, would you say? Or at least one of those?
I would say just working with the clients. There's this whole big dream fairy tale of something that they want, but then there's things that they want to keep. And then the reality of it is it doesn't function well for them.
Mhm.
So I just think overall, it just wasn't suiting for me. And
Give us an example. Like, is there a story about that? So when you say they keep something, is it like some old terrible table that just doesn't go at all with everything else that you're designing?
yeah, that's a good example. Like say if they want something that's super simplistic and modern,
Mhm.
but then they have this huge Persian, kind of gunky piece of furniture that they want to keep in there and it just like doesn't work. And you're just like back and forth with them. And
Right.
you have your vision and they're just completely like a whirlwind with it.
Yeah, they're like, no, let me just this is what I want to see. And I can understand that. I mean, you are designing for them, but as somebody that takes pride in what they do,
Mm-hmm.
seeing what you had, seeing what you created,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're coming in and kind of recreating it.
Yes.
Even though ultimately it's delivered to them, there's still something about it that's yours. And
Yeah.
now it's being like disrupted by their
And there's
vision.
people who are great
Yeah.
at it.
And can
you know?
accommodate that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of let it go, I guess.
Right.
But I can understand holding on to that and like taking pride in it and not
Mhm.
wanting to see it like, mixed up with that. Yeah. So, okay. So the dreams are slowly kind of going away. You're saying, okay, here's the reality of the situation. So then what happened? What you're like, what do I do next? Okay, let's be real. We all want that fresh, glowy skin that looks like we've been sleeping 8 hours a night and drinking green juice. Even when, if you're like me, you've been swapping that green juice for Coke Zero and you're getting more like 5 hours of sleep instead of 8. Well, that's where our medical spa, Rejuvelay's Med Spa, comes in. We do everything from relaxing facials to laser treatments, body contouring, injectables, and biostimulation. The team at our medical spa really listens to you and customizes treatments based on your goals, your lifestyle, and your budget. If you've been thinking about giving your skin a little love or a big transformation, be sure to check us out at rejuvelaysmedspa.com or feel free to stop by. You deserve to feel confident and radiant, and Rejuvelay's Med Spa makes it easy. Trust me, your future glowing self will thank you.
So I kind of see that I'm getting a little bit older. I see that my parents are stable. They make great money. And I think I can do it. And I kind of get to a point where I'm like, well, let me just follow in my parents' tracks. Like if I want to do something on the side later on, then at least I'm financially stable enough to be able to do that. So I decide that I want to follow in their tracks and join LAPD. So I either want to go to college first and get a degree in criminal justice, mind you, I hate school,
Right.
or join the military. So I chose to join the military. I went into a Marines office, recruiting office, and I was like, yes, this is what I want to do. I'm going to join the Marines.
Mm-hmm.
I go back to my mom. She had no idea that I went. I go back to my mom and I'm like, I'm joining the Marines. Here's the paperwork. This is what I'm doing. She's like, the fuck you are. She's like, you are not joining the Marines. I'm like, what do you mean? You're in law enforcement. What do you mean I can't
Right.
go
I
to the
hear
Marines?
you to tell me. Yeah.
So she was like, you're just not going to be taught how to kill. She's like, if you want to go in the military, choose the Air Force or the Navy. They can at least teach you something that you can take out of it into the civilian world. I was like, okay, fine. Whatever.
With all due respect to our amazing Marine families.
Yes, we love our Marines.
Yes.
All my guy friends are all Marines.
Yes. Just Mama was scared. Mama was scared.
Yes. She didn't want me to die
Yes.
2 weeks in. So.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah.
But my grandfather, he was prior Navy. So I was like, okay, let's do the Navy.
Mm-hmm.
So I went into, probably a week later, I went into the recruiting office and took the ASVAB, and jobs were pretty like slim to none at that time. I wanted to be.
When was this?
It was 2018. No, 2019.
2019.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because I left for boot camp November 2019. So I wanted to be an MP, which was military police, of course, pre-training before LAPD. But the jobs are pretty slim to none. And one of my options was an engineer, a gas turbine mechanic. So the recruiting lady was like, just go be an engineer. The guys will do all the work for you. Like, you won't have to do anything. I was like, okay.
I know. Sounds good.
Sounds good to me. So that's the job that I chose, gas turbine mechanic. And
I love it.
Yes.
Dress designer, gas turbine mechanic.
Yes.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
All right. So you get out
Completely
there.
opposite.
Oh, how many years were you in?
I did 4 years.
4 years.
Term.
All right. When did you know that, I guess you said you joined the military as sort of a precursor to becoming LAPD. That was your ultimate. So was your plan always to just do 4 years in the military, or?
Yeah, I was always going to be one and done.
Okay. One and done. All right. And then what was the sort of turning point for you when you left the Navy, when you decided, I don't know that law enforcement's for me anymore?
I think just working in the military originally, where it's just kind of the hurry up and wait, and you have to kind of, yes, the military is following somebody else's rules, but I just think how it's structured, I wasn't a big fan of. I did have an incident happen when I was in the military, which completely set me out pretty much, and I was medically discharged from the military.
All right. Wow. Medically discharged. Did you go back home?
Yes, I went back to California. All
right. So take us there. Now you're back home, and it's like, okay, fashion design? No. Interior design? Hell no.
When I went back
turbines?
Home,
double hell no.
I knew that I loved to bake, and I really didn't know anything else. I didn't want to be a grease monkey for my whole life. I was proud of myself that I was able to learn everything and accomplish so much in a male-dominated industry, being an engineer. But it wasn't something that I wanted to do full-time. And finding the love for baking, I staged under a pastry chef to kind of get a taste of what it is. And I hated it. Again, I hated it.
Yeah.
It's just tedious. And
it's giving very ADD, which I completely empathize with.
Yes.
But yeah, it's just like trying the different things.
Their hearts, seriously.
Like trying to find
Yes.
what you like, that you're
Mm-hmm.
not bored with, that you're interested in with,
Yes.
and can create a living for yourself, but is also creative.
I know. What's wrong with us?
Yeah, no, it's like, yeah. And tell us, because you told me that term before, when you say staged, what is staging? Stage? I don't know. What does that mean?
Staging is basically like an internship. Like
Okay.
you're working under somebody for free. You're learning from them.
Okay.
You're also like helping them with their business, but you're not getting paid.
Sure.
So,
And was this in LA as well?
no, this was in Hawaii.
Okay.
Yes.
Because you were having success on the side with your baking and all of that,
Yes.
you decided to invest in that a little bit before
Right.
heading back
With
home.
my free time.
Sure.
Yeah. while
Okay.
we
So
were
just
back
to
in.
get some more experience, just to kind of dip your foot in the water a
Mhm.
little bit more.
Yeah.
All right. And you were like, hell no.
Yeah. It
Which
was a
you
lot
said
of-
croissants, right? You hated
Yeah,
croissants?
making croissants, chocolate working,
Oh, no thanks.
like just tedious decorating that I don't have like steady hands for
Mhm.
and patience
Yes.
for. Bless all my pastry chefs out there. Y'all are doing it and I love you so much, but it's not for me and I'm glad you're doing it.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, so I knew that I didn't want to do it, but I knew getting out of the military, I was going to use my GI Bill to go to culinary school. And culinary degree, the associate's degree, also has the pastry program in it.
Okay.
So I loved that. Like there's still some pastry in there. It's not just all savory. I mean, there was like learning of everything
Mhm.
with the associate's degree. But when I went back to home to California, I was a little bit lost. I was 22, I think, and I had just lived so much life in
Mhm.
4 years of traveling and military things. And I go back home and everybody's still doing the same thing as when I left.
Right.
And I was just kind of like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
I want something else for myself.
yeah, I can't be here.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked up culinary schools and there wasn't one that I wanted in California. So I moved to Georgia and I chose the Georgia school because of the cost of living down there. And I was
Okay.
like, oh, it's another state. I'll figure it out. Cost of living is cheap.
Right.
Well, it's cheap for a reason.
Yeah.
Because I hated it down there too.
Don't worry, guys.
I know.
She finds her way.
I find my way.
She finds her way. Yes,
and I
you
just
do.
had like,
You're
I
still so young,
such-
though. I mean,
yeah.
okay, you're 22, you've lived life, but gosh, I'm thinking that's 20, I'm 47, 25 years ago. I just, yeah, I mean, it's just, you're still a baby
Yeah.
in so many ways,
Just
you
still
know?
finding myself in general. And after being this person in the military who you're supposed to be, and then sort of being let free into this whole world, and you're just like, well, who am I?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just, there's no structure that you don't have to be somewhere at a certain time. And
Right.
it's free. It's a free world.
Which is not great
No, it's
sometimes,
not.
especially for ADD.
Yeah.
Some, you know, it's like you hate the structure, but you really thrive in it too. Like
Right.
you need it.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. So you ended up, what school was it that you chose? Was the,
Le Cordon Bleu.
okay.
Mhm.
And that's, you did the program that was the inclusive one that you
Yes.
talked about. All
Uh-huh.
right. How hard was that to, I guess you'd already been away from the family for a while.
Mhm.
Was it scary or were you just excited about going?
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
I mean, I moved back home and, you know, my parents, they had already moved. Yeah, they had already moved to Virginia. They were retired and moved to Virginia. So I go back home and my parents aren't even there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm mostly there just for like my friends and to be in California. So I really had no attachments, nothing holding me
Sure.
to California. Starting school and going to another state, and not knowing anything and packing up my car
Or knowing anyone.
or anyone. Yeah. I mean, I literally packed up my car and drove across country.
That's amazing. That's exciting though.
Yeah.
That's gotta be exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So you've now made it, you're in, and what part of Georgia was it in?
The school was in Tucker, Georgia, but I lived in Lawrenceville, which is about 20 minutes north of Atlanta County.
Yeah. So you're outside of, and I remember you saying something about being somewhat close to Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
and but you didn't finish school there. Why?
I personally had a few bad experiences in Georgia, racism.
Mm-hmm.
they would make fun of me for having freckles and having long hair. Like they would feel for tracks in my head, like, oh, your hair is so pretty, but then like touch my scalp and like
Strange.
to see if I had tracks in my hair. And
Is your ethnicity, you were
black and white.
Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
Black and white.
And then they would say I'm whitewashed because of how I speak. Like I didn't have a ghetto slang when I spoke.
Did you receive the racism from both races then, would you say? Or was it predominantly white or predominantly black races?
Predominantly black.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I think with the first time you told me that, I was picturing quite the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would think, but
yeah.
no.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, just again, very interesting and your experience is a unique one for sure. So, and it just, so after dealing with that, how long were you there for?
I was there for a year, and it was the longest year. And it was kind of at a point with my boyfriend at the time. He was getting into some stuff that was really bad. And then also I was just sitting in class one day, and it was a PowerPoint in class. And mind you, we're in college, and it's in class on a PowerPoint in front of your teacher and your classmates. And the PowerPoint, instead of the, said duh.
Mm-hmm.
Like D-A, like she was spelling how she spoke.
Oh,
and I
man.
was like, this is like a public thing of displaying.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's so embarrassing.
You're like,
And
I've
I
got
was
higher
like-
standards than this.
I was
Lawrence.
like, I have to leave.
Yeah.
I can't be here.
I'm
And
done.
and also in the PowerPoint, the woman had said vegetables instead of vegetables.
Right.
I was like, yeah, I gotta go. I
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah, you need a little like more formality. She might have been amazing at what she did, but yeah,
Yeah.
you're paying a lot, investing a lot, and you
Yes.
want that. You want that formality and you want that education.
Yes.
Yeah, and they've got to represent better.
Yes.
Yeah, I get it.
And
I
it was
get
just like on top of everything. And I was just like, yeah, I gotta go.
Man. Well, I'm sorry that was your experience, but I would say after that, you've put some time in. How far into your education were you?
I was a year in to
Okay.
the education, because as soon as I moved to Georgia, I started like within a week.
Right away. Okay.
Moving.
But during this time also,
Mhm.
you gave birth to your first child.
I did.
All right.
Yes.
So how old was she when you made the decision to leave?
She was about 6 months
Wow.
old. Yes.
So the first time you traveled from California to Georgia by yourself.
Yes.
The second time you left for culinary school, with
Mhm.
same school, different location.
Yes. From Georgia.
It was from Georgia to,
Washington State.
yes. And that's because your best friend was there.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to catch up with that story to see how
Mhm.
all of that unfolded. Life as a new mom, life as a up and coming chef, one that is going to be a finalist on 2 top shows and who is the owner of an absolutely amazing restaurant here in Spotsylvania, Virginia. If you have not been, you've got to go. We'll have all of Jessica's contact information in the show notes. Thank you so much for being here for episode 1. Please
Of
stay
course.
tuned for next week's episode 2, where we talk about all the things that are to come in Jessica's world and all of the things that are happening for her this very year, personally and professionally. Thanks again for dropping in, guys.
So pull up a chair, come join the show. Let's talk the highs, the hurt, the blows. She's got the mic and we got the night. Let's live out loud, let's get it right. She's got the mic, yeah, we're doing it right.